Hey there, YouTubers. Kitten Hoarder here, and you're watching Session Report, the show that takes you to the gamer's table to share in the surprises that come out during play. And today we're going to be playing, in case you haven't guessed it already, Gloomhaven. So, before I move this rulebook and get into the nitty-gritty, I have 3 warnings that I think are necessary. This is one of those games that some people seem to be concerned about spoilers. If you are one of those people, and you don't want to get spoiled, let me tell you what I'm going to be doing in this playthrough. I have a fairly early party. Nobody's gotten to retirement yet. If you've played Gloomhaven, you know what that means. And they're level 2 and 3. And I'm going to be playing one of the early scenarios. Scenario 5 or 6 or something like that. So if you haven't played that and you don't want to be spoiled for that, that's a warning. In addition, I'm going to be doing some stuff in the town of Gloomhaven before I start. I'm going to be getting an enhancement. I'm going to be going shopping. I'm going to be having both a city event and a road event. And, you know, all of that will make sense. If you haven't played the game before, you know nothing about the game, that'll make sense once we get into it. But for people who do know about the game and want to avoid foreknowledge of those things, you might not want to watch this video. Everybody else, you're welcome to play along. This is going to be very fun, I think. So that's warning number 1. Those are the things I'm going to be doing. Oh, and of course, since I haven't retired any characters, I haven't unlocked any characters, so I'm going to be playing with 2 characters from the starting classes. Those are the Spellweaver and the Mind Thief. So there may be some spoilers for some of those cards as well. Okay. Now, to get into the second warning. And the second warning is that this is not a how-to-play video. I'm going to do my normal thing, where I'm going to explain certain rules as they come up during play, sort of so you know what I'm thinking. But the goal of the video is not to teach you how to play the game. It's not to provide an extensive overview of the rules. I'm not going to be doing that at all. So, if you're watching the video for that reason, I suggest you look elsewhere. I think Paul Grogan, did a well-regarded how-to-play video. I haven't watched it, but a lot of people seem to like that one, and I know Ricky Royal has done playthroughs for this, so I suggest you go there if you want to learn how to play. But if you have played the game maybe, and you want to just see if you're doing it right, this might help you with that. But it's definitely not a how-to-play video. And the third warning is, on the subject of playing, I've not been playing the game very well. I've lost quite a few scenarios recently. I started out doing fairly well, winning the first scenario on my second try, and then I think I won the next couple of scenarios on my first try, but you know, it was a pretty close thing. And then I started losing pretty regularly. I even dropped the difficulty down and I still lost. So, and the reason for that may have to be with me switching up my party, you know, playing as some different characters that I had just created. But in any case, another reason for it is that, you know, I've been maybe not making the best decisions. I've been forgetting about some things that could be of benefit to me until it's too late. So I'm probably not going to win this scenario. So don't watch this video for strategy advice, because you're not going to learn much from me. But without those warnings out of the way, let's just get started. So this is your last chance to close the browser, close the window, if you don't want to get spoiled. I'm going to reveal the map of Gloomhaven and the lands around it. There we go. The city of Gloomhaven, and then the surrounding countryside. Gloomhaven is sort of off, I believe it's sort of in the wilderness of the fantasy world that this is set in. You can see there's the capital way off to the, the west, and Gloomhaven is off on the coast. Yeah, so here's the world map. What I've done in terms of setting up the game, I've found that this is really the only way to play, is have the world map and all of the Gloomhaven specific, the city of Gloomhaven specific cards And the road events over off to the side here on my side table, and on my other table, which you'll see in a minute, I have the actual event set up. So, as you can see, my party has done some adventuring already. We've gone through the Black Barrow and the Barrow Lair. We had an adventure in Gloomhaven itself in a warehouse by the docks. And we've gone through the Crypt of the Damned. And, oh yeah, we've had an adventure in an Enoch's encampment. And the next one we're going to be doing is the Ruinous Crypt. But before we do that, we have some business in town. So, if you're not familiar at all with Gloomhaven, it is a fantasy adventure game that is primarily focused on exploring a persistent and sort of constantly evolving world. I would liken it to games in the Final Fantasy series, particularly Final Fantasy XII and Final Fantasy XV, which were some of my favorites. And I would also liken it to something like Dragon Age. So this is the style of game that we're playing. The party that I've built for myself here are called the Dawn Seekers, and they name themselves after that because of the interest of one of the founding members, Splort, who's a Cragheart, and he calls himself Splort. In fact, he says nothing except "I am Splort," but he has an interest in the origins of humanity, or the origins of civilization, really. We don't know if they're human or not. That's one of the interesting things about this game. There's a lot of different races available. So that's why we're called the Dawn Seekers. But in any case, we have a party of 4 members. Quarrel Skern is a Tinkerer. Splort is a Cragheart. But we're actually going to be playing with the 2 newer members of the team for this run-through. Diadem, who is an Orchid Spellweaver, and Chitterfang, who is a Vermling Mind Thief. So this is my party sheet. I'm going to just set this aside for now. And then we're going to take a look at my 2 characters. These are their character sheets. And you'll notice they've got a pretty good amount of gold, and they're ready to spend it before they go back and retackle this scenario. Also, you'll notice that Chitterfang and Diadem are pretty close to leveling up again. So if I don't win this scenario, I'll probably win the next one. So, this adventure will begin, as all things begin, in the city of Gloomhaven. And what I'm going to do first, before I do anything else, is I believe I'm going to have a city encounter. This is one of the different things you can do in Gloomhaven. You can have encounters in the city. You can go shopping. You can buy enhancements. You can create new party members, new characters. You can retire your characters if they've met their personal goal, which will unlock new content for the game. And I don't know if I mentioned you can enhance your cards once you've unlocked a certain global achievement, the Power of Enhancement. And you can also do things like donating to a temple, which I think I'm going to be doing. But before I do anything else, I'm going to have a city event. And the reason I want to do that first is because it might factor into what I decide to do afterward. Maybe I'm going to lose some gold, or maybe I'm going to gain some gold, and that would make a difference. So, how I have this set up, I have these reference cards, which I don't really use, on top of the event cards, so I don't see the front until I actually am looking at it. Well, let's have the event, come on. You hear screams from the south as you approach the docks, and see a group of women running toward you in a panic. "An invasion!" they yell as they race by you, nearly knocking you over. You hurry to the docks and find a crowd of workers on edge, armed with makeshift weapons, encircling one particular dock. The dock is abandoned save a group of lurkers, terrifying crab-like monsters as big as an Enoch's and equally ferocious. Except these lurkers don't appear to be hostile. They're simply standing on the dock, clacking their claws in a strange rhythm. I have 2 options: raise arms and fight the lurkers back into the sea, or approach lurkers cautiously and attempt to communicate with them. I don't know if I'm going to be successful, but I think I'm going to try to communicate with these things. They don't appear to be hostile, and my party tends to be, more good than bad. However, I've had a lot of situations where trying to do something good backfires, and I lose reputation. But let's see. Option B. The crowd parts as you move toward the dock with both confidence and care. The lurkers notice your approach and continue to clack in your direction. You call out to them and ask why they are here, but all you get in response is a change in the tempo of their clacking. When you express confusion, they clack again in frustration and scuttle back into the ocean. The crowd is very impressed that you managed to ward off the creatures without using force. Oh, good! My party gains 2 reputation. Well, this is good. I've been wanting to gain reputation. It's not been coming very easily. So, my party reputation currently is at +1. It's going to go up to +3. And this symbol here means this event is removed from the game permanently. I'm not going to have another chance to deal with these guys. So I'm going to set this aside for now. I have a special bag, plastic bag, where I keep all of my removed permanently cards. I don't want to tear them up. So that was a city event. So let's go to our next order of business, which I think is going to be upgrading or enhancing a card. Okay, so this is the basic way enhancement works. I have my Vermling Mind Thieves cards here. I don't have all of them, but I know which one I want to enhance anyway. These cards have little, well, this one doesn't. They have little dots where you can add an extra symbol taken from this sticker sheet. So symbols could be +1, right? I could enhance his attack from a 3 to a 4. Or I could add status effects to it. Or I could add an elemental infusion to it. And various things like that. Sometimes I could, let's see, he doesn't have any area of effect cards, but these hexes down at the bottom are for area of effect cards. So, however, I know what I want to do already. Basically, the rules are there's a base cost plus an additional cost for enhancing higher level cards or cards that have previously been enhanced, or at least actions that have been previously enhanced. So the card I wanted to enhance for the Mind Thief is this Empathetic Assault. This is a pretty good card. It's got a really nice attack on the top, which I could enhance even further. But what I want to actually do right now is enhance his Heal 2 ability. The bottom of the card is reusable, and it's Move 2, Heal 2 to self. I'm going to add a blessing to that, which is going to cost me 50 gold. And the reason I want to do that is, every time I move and heal the Mind Thief, he's going to be blessing himself as well. And blessings are very, very, very powerful. If you're not familiar with the game, they basically shuffle a ×2 card into your deck. So a future attack that you try to make has its damage multiplied by 2. So let's. This is very difficult to get right. Let's see. There we go. That seems about lined up. Perfect. And there you go. He's now going to heal himself and add blessing when he does it. So we're going to cross off 50 gold. Youch. And he's down to 17. All right. I could buy an enhancement for the Spellweaver as well, but I don't feel like it right now. I have other things I need to spend money on with her. So let's just move on to the next order of business, the shopping. Okay, so shopping basically works like this. There's a deck of available items, and this gets expanded as we play through scenarios. Sometimes you get rewarded with new items being available in the shop. And it also gets expanded as we... as the prosperity of the city of Gloomhaven increases, which I'm actually pretty close to leveling up the prosperity to level 2, which is pretty exciting, because that comes with a whole new set of cards, set of encounters, and all sorts of fun stuff. But I know what I want to get with Diadem. See, the party has previously attempted this mission in the Vibrant Grotto. And it's a mission that requires a lot of moving around. It's very difficult to accomplish with 2 characters. So in order to help her with that, Diadem is going to get some Boots of Striding, which is a reusable card. You can use it once every time you do a long rest, and it adds +2 movement to whatever movement action you do when you use it. So it's going to cost her 20 gold. Perfect. She is down to 22 gold now. And we're going to add Boots of Striding, which is item number 1, to her list of items. Perfect. Now, she's still got some gold, and she sort of wants to spend her gold because she's getting close to completing her personal goal. Every character has a personal quest, and when they've completed their personal quest, they retire. And basically that character is done. You can't play with them anymore. You can create a new character of the same class, but that personal character is done. She has to exhaust herself for her personal goal. And she's 3 exhaustions. Exhaustion? Yeah, that's a word, right? 3 exhaustions away from completing that. So she's very close. So she wants to spend her gold now. She doesn't need to save it up. And what I think she's going to spend her gold on are one more item. It's going to cost me 10. We're going to get a power potion, I believe. Now, there's a limit on how many small items you can equip. So let's look in the rules for that. Page 8. I think Diadem is safe, though. Number of small items equal to half their level, rounded up. She is level 3, so she can own 2 small items. She currently has only 1, so she's going to get a power potion as well. And this is good because she has a lot of attacks that target multiple characters. And this is, during your attack, add +1 attack to your entire attack action. So this way she's going to be able to attack multiple things at the same time. It's going to cost her 10. So now she's down to 12. And I know what she's going to spend her last 10 on, but we're not there yet. So we're going to add Minor Power Potion, which is item number 14. Perfect. So these are going into the Spellweaver's item pool. We'll get to that in a second. Now, Chitterfang still has some money. He can afford another potion as well. So he might want to get one of these small potions, or he can do the other thing that I know that she's going to want to do. I think I might get him a minor healing potion, because he has a fairly low hit points. Yeah, I'm going to get him a minor healing potion, because like I just said, his hit points are fairly low. And this allows you to, once per mission, once per scenario, heal 3 damage. So he's going to go down to 7 gold. And just occasionally, I just erase everything and start again on a new line. And he's got a minor healing potion now. Can he get that? He's level 2. No, he can't. He can't have another potion right now, because he's only level 2. Half his level rounded up is level 1, or is 1. So he can't have another one of those. Let's see. He's got a hand item. He doesn't have something for his other hand, so he could get a heater shield, but he can't afford that. Okay. Never mind. He's going to do something else, which I will explain now. Okay, so the last thing that characters can do in town, or, well, yeah, I guess that's the last thing for now, is donating to the Sanctuary. I mean, they could also level up and do the things I said, but the last thing I'm going to do today is donate to the Sanctuary of the Great Oak. And this is like a kind of a temple. Well, it says it's a temple and a hospital. And doing a donation adds 2 blessings to the deck, the attack modifier deck for that character for the next scenario, and it progresses me along one of these persistent things that happens in Gloomhaven. So right here, these are special conditions for opening certain envelopes. Most envelopes are opened by retiring characters, but there's a few special ones. One is having a party reputation of 10 or higher, which is going to be very cool. I'm getting close to that actually now. But another one is donating a total of 100 gold, where we're about to donate 20 gold, 10 for each character, to the Sanctuary of the Great Oak. So I'm going to check this off. I've already adjusted everybody's gold total, and we're going to shuffle 2 blessing cards into these characters' starting decks, or attack modifier decks for the start of the scenario. Alright, that is all of the preparation we can do in Gloomhaven. So we're going to have a road event, and then I'm going to close out this video. And that's going to be just one video for stuff that we're doing in town and on the way, and then one video for the scenario itself, or probably multiple videos, because it's going to probably run a little longer than an hour. Talking a lot today. I did not get a lot of sleep. This was not my plan, but I did not get a whole lot of sleep, so unfortunately it's not going to be my best video, but I hope that you enjoy it anyway. And maybe being a little loopy will, I don't know. I'm certainly talkative, and that's better than dead air, but I should shut up. Okay. Okay, so the last thing we need to do, because the party is in Gloomhaven right now, and we're traveling over here to the Ruinous Crypt, we must have a road event. City events are optional, road events are non-optional. So, let's see what happens to us on the road. You see a lone wagon off to the side of the road up ahead. You approach cautiously. As you near, a jovial man with a wide hat waves at you. Ho there! I don't suppose you have any expertise in fixing a broken axle. The road wasn't even that bumpy, and then bam! The man claps his hands together. Just splits in half. I need to have all these goods up north in 2 days, and I'm just at a loss about how to get myself out of this pickle. So my options are I can attempt to help the man with his axle problem, or I can tie him up and take all the goods he is so concerned about. I'm actually a bit suspicious of this guy. This seems like a pretty common, what do you call it? Not bandit, but, you know, a pretty common tactic for people trying to separate you from your own money. Oh, my car broke down. But I don't think option B would be what my party would do. So we're going to try to help him, even though I don't think we're going to be able to help. If I had my Tinkerer with me, that would be probably better, but we don't have the Tinkerer with us right now. Yep, we don't have the Tinkerer, so we do not get the top part of this. We have the otherwise text, and again, it gets removed from the game. You happily agree to help the man, but quickly realize you don't know what you are doing. The man thanks you anyway, and you move on. Well, that's good. Nothing bad happened. So, I count that as a win. A lot of these cards, you start the scenario with really additional negative effects, and it's not that great. Well, that's it for the Gloomhaven city portion of the video. We're gonna wrap up now, and well, we're just gonna do this scenario now. So, see you in a sec.